What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. We actually have quite an interesting update. For weeks, the world really was gripped at the search for missing van life YouTuber Gabby Petito and the subsequent search for her ex, Brian, after the fact for, I don't know, weeks maybe, at least a week. People searched all over the world for him. There were sightings in every state, every nation of the world. Everyone felt like they knew where he was, including Dog the Bounty Hunter. At the end of the day, it turned up that he was exactly where his parents said. And today, now we know a little bit about those final moments and how things ended. I don't think anyone's surprised, but I feel like, this channel, we covered it pretty in depth. So why not get the end cap for this story? So essentially, if you remember, when they found Brian, he was in, there wasn't much left of him from what I'm told, based on being underwater. And I think it was weeks on end. And so there was no real way to determine any kind of cause. So they had to bag everything up essentially and ship it to somebody who's called a forensic anthropologist, who will then reassemble everything and try to figure out exactly what was the cause of all of this. Now, we hadn't heard of anything located at the scene that would indicate this, but today a forensic anthropologist told the family lawyer that he took the hero's way out. He decided to self-delete with a lead injection to the brain. Chris and Robert are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful these findings will bring closure to both families. I don't think that it will. I think that in most cases, I don't know. I'd rather see somebody stand trial and rot in prison if it were my daughter. But I guess as a taxpayer, sometimes when the garbage takes itself out, that seems okay too. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that? I mean, there was really no doubt in his guilt. So, we already spent millions looking for him. And then we have a high profile trial. I suppose I feel bad for Nick. If they were to have streamed it, that would have been good for him. So, of course, he was a person of interest. Still never actually formally charged, as far as I can tell. In the Gabby Petito case, this has been going on since the 11th of September, so October, so just over 2 months. The Florida District 12 medical examiner conducted the initial autopsy back in October when he was found, but the results came back inconclusive. The remains were sent to an anthropologist. Authorities also found a notebook, which PD say may be salvageable, but it's unclear what's inside. Perhaps it is a farewell letter, which would make sense given the way he went out. You see, the FBI confirmed that a notebook, along with a backpack and a dry bag containing other items that belonged to Brian, turned up at Northport Florida Park in an area that had previously been underwater, not far from where authorities had found him. It appears it may be salvageable. I'm guessing that does mean it is salvageable. Otherwise, they would have just said it is not. The other interesting thing is, I don't think that they had any idea, what they were going to find in there. And had they ever announced that they actually found the actual pew that he used? Because they haven't reported that. I would think they would have found that in the same area. Will they ever release what was in the notebook? It seems really unlikely. The FBI currently has no new information to share at this time, but they will continue to post updates to Twitter when they become available. The lawyer for the family says he does not know what's in the notebook, nor whether the notebook was inside the dry bag when Chris and Roberta Laundrie discovered it. So the dry bag obviously meant to keep water off of things. So if the notebook was in there, then it might be okay. But if this is the dry bag, I'm not exactly sure. Oh, this is a clip. I thought that was a hole originally. This is just a clip. So if it was in there, then I would imagine there's probably a letter in there. I don't really care to, hear what he has to say is his justification for it, because it just doesn't seem like any. If we look at the actual timeline, this is, taking pictures back in July 5th at Monument Rock. Then they went to Colorado Springs, Great Sand Dunes National Park, Zion National Park. Just kind of living that van life. One thing I thought was weird was they did this whole van life thing. It's supposedly for a YouTube channel, but they never really uploaded any videos. They uploaded like one. So maybe they were going to just travel, and then come back and release everything then, just keep all the footage. I suppose that could be the case. If you remember how this was actually solved, it was just a complete stroke of luck. They were actually, the van was located or spotted by another RV YouTuber who happened to spot the van as they were driving by. They went back through all their B-roll, and sure enough, they had found it with Florida plates, and that kind of spawned the search. And then they found Gabby shortly thereafter. So this whole case was kind of played out in real time in social media. Of course, we saw a lot of politicians weigh in and say, oh, they wouldn't look the same if her skin color was different. I, of course, greatly disagree with that. I think it was not just it had nothing to do with her skin color, I think, and everything to do with just the virality of the case. The fact that, she was beautiful, that she was, I think her being beautiful had more to do with it than her skin color. And, she was a YouTuber, a social media person, social media, influencer, so to speak. It kind of had all those salacious headlines. And you ultimately end up, we don't know. We'll probably never know what happened on that day, because unless he wrote it down and then they share it with the press, we're never going to know. So a single lead injection to the brain as he hid. I guess he wasn't quite the survivor man that we all thought that the press said he was, that he would be out there for weeks. My guess is he did it on the very first night when he was out there, and just, it happened to rain. They probably would have found him out there the very same day or whatever when they first went out, but the area was underwater. I don't know why you go home at that point. The whole case is just really sad and unfortunate, but I suppose this is some semblance of a conclusion. I'm curious to hear what you have to say in the comment section down below. If you feel like you'd rather see the guy face a jury or take the trash out himself, because I guess I'm kind of torn on it. But there we go. Now we know how it all ended for human garbage Brian Laundrie. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Meta PCs. Now, I know you're not going to run out and quick buy a brand new computer just because I ran this ad, but what I would hope is that you'll keep Meta PCs in mind for a variety of reasons, and use my promo code TheQuartering to save big at checkout. Look, Meta PCs offers custom configurations. It has insane parts availability. They're one of the few people I see out there with the brand new NVIDIA 3090 in stock and shipping. When you buy from them, they offer you build photos as they work along. When you receive your PC, it's ready to go out of the box. It's 100% US-based sales and support. And one of my favorite things, it's a veteran-owned business. Meta PCs is veteran-owned. One of Meta's owners has served in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in the Meta Operations Center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. Meta PCs also offers financing. Head on over to MetaPC at metapcs.com. Use code TheQuartering at checkout to save money and support my content. If nothing else, go configure a PC, build a little wish list, and when you're ready, remember to use code TheQuartering at checkout at MetaPCs. I know I'll be getting myself a brand new one before the end of the year. Check out metapcs.com.